right, so welcome back to our Thursday class. As you can see, it's getting brighter and brighter each Thursday. And yeah, so today we're going to focus on folding. A lot of forward folds, it's just sort of just the compression of our bodies and how we still breathe when we have less space in the folds. And just kind of using it as a little bit of kind of an experiment, just seeing what it's like to fold. I mean, folding is excellent for stretching out the back, the glutes, the muscles in the legs. We'll even do a little bit of shoulder stretching with these folds. Yeah, and then also just bringing awareness to how we feel when we're folding. You know, when our bodies are compressed, do we feel like mentally compressed as well? And then just breathing through any of that, any pressure that builds or any tension that you might notice. So let's hop to our mats for a little bit of warm up. I was doing a yoga class this morning and I accidentally just stubbed my toe on the mat. I just swung my leg really fast and I actually like basically broke my toenail. And it was like this dramatic scene in the class. And I just see like little traces of the scene of the crime on my mat as I sit on it. I have to like take a little napkin with soap to it for some of the bleeding toenail that happened. But anyway, all is well. But I'm just not going to take my socks off for just my slight anxiety about it now. There's always a hazard built into things. You're always going to be so careful. All right. Anyway, story time complete. Let's find ourselves in an easy seated position, finding our alignment. So if you want to take a couple of slow shoulder rolls to help find that long spine but relaxed shoulders, go for that. And then let your shoulders settle into their pockets. Neck is long, head over heart, over pelvis. Breathing into the integrity of this posture, deliberately taking a stance here, deliberately assuming a posture that says, you know, I've arrived. I might meditate here. I might do yoga, or I might just sit here in this very purposeful way. And we're going to begin by pressing our left fingertips into the ground. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, let the right arm droop over towards the left ear and gently guide the right ear towards right shoulder, getting a stretch down the left side of your neck and shoulder, almost like a small fold to the right, just with your neck. And on the exhales, relax, release tension, and see if your head just becomes a little heavier. Good, and then carefully release the hand, allow the head to come back to neutral. Next, inhale, left arm reaches up, reaches towards right ear, and gently does the same on the left. So you'll feel the stretch down the right side of the neck. And then inhale, we breathe into that alert spine, and exhale, you release the tension in the neck. You're not pulling with the hand, it's just a gentle weight guiding your neck to a stretch, into a stretch. And then release that hand, deep breath in. And then on this next section, you're welcome to close your eyes and turn a little bit more inward. Otherwise, just let your gaze be relaxed. You're not looking at anything in particular, almost like the edges of your view are getting a little fuzzy. You're going to take a breath in, spine is long, heart is out, and then exhale, drop the chin towards the chest. And on the exhale, continue to roll the right ear towards the right shoulder. And as your nose points up to the sky, completing the circle, take a breath in. And then out as your chin rolls back to your chest, making small circles with your neck. Being very mindful, especially when your head falls back, not to just let it collapse, but keeping some awareness there so that your neck doesn't feel any pain. If you have done 3 or so rotations in one direction, begin the flow in the other way. Breathing in as your gaze lifts, letting it out as your gaze drops. Really feeling the relaxation of the shoulders. Are you holding anything up? And if so, allow the shoulders to relax. After 3 or so rotations in the other way, come on back to center. Gaze is neutral, eyes can flicker open, and gently bring your hands to your heart center, bow your head, and take a couple moments to yourself. Deep breath in, and a full, complete exhale. Letting the deep breath be a form of warming, expansion and contraction of the body. A warming through the nose or through parted lips as the air rushes past. And a warming for the heart as perhaps our deepening of breath accelerates our heart rate just a little bit, accelerating the pace of the circulation in our bodies and just getting things just generally going. If we've been sitting all day, this is a more active form of sitting. And then let your hands release, gaze lifts, eyes open. Inhale, arms up. Gaze towards the fingers, reach tall. Exhale, twisting to the right. Left hand comes to right knee. Gaze towards the right shoulder. Let the shoulders relax. Take a couple moments in this twist. Inhale, arms up, come back to center. Gaze lifts. And an easy twist to the left. Right hand comes to left knee. Gaze towards the left shoulder. And then inhale, arms up, come back to stretch. And then exhale, press the air away on either side of your body like you're resisting the arms coming down. And then relax. I'm going to take off my sweatshirt because I am now toasty. Did some very active breathing back there. Also, this smells a little bit like I've been wearing it for 2 days because that is the truth. So let's just leave that off for the rest of the day. We're gonna come on to our hands and knees, and you can start getting into your cat and cow. So hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. The inhale draws the shoulder blades slightly more together, belly drops. Maybe your gaze lifts as almost like an extension of that curve you created in your back. And then exhale, mindfully push it all away, doming of the spine, creating a lot of space here. Gaze towards knees or belly button. Inhale, pressing it all down. Tailbone lifts, gaze lifts. Exhale, pushing it away, rounding of the spine. Gaze towards belly button. You can always tuck your toes if that feels right in your body. Take a couple rounds on your own, and I invite you to take any additional movements that help you feel ready, help you feel very alive and present. You can do a little tail wagging. I always like if you open your arms a little wider, you can make sort of these little swivels by dropping the hips in little circles. Truly, the floor is yours. The mat is yours, I should say. Good. Take one more breath in your cat and cow variations. Perhaps you can feel the breath dropping in a little more actively. And when you are ready, you can begin to open your knees a little wider, bringing the toes to touching, and send the hips back. You can reach the arms forward if you like to get a little bit of length. And then exhale, melt right here. And just feel your body in this bowing position. Good. Inhale, simply lift your gaze and just hover as if your chin were to hover just above the ground. And just feel what it's like to stretch that head up, kind of compressing in the back of the neck, a little fold in the back of the neck. One breath in, send the heart a little more forward. Exhale, melt forehead down to the ground. And feel that release in the back of the neck. Inhale, we're gonna lift our hips, begin to come back into our tabletop, squaring our hips, tucking the toes. You can walk the palms forward a little as we come into a downward dog. Good, and just walk it out. Allow your knees to have whatever bend they need. And though we're not so compressed, we are certainly folding. Allowing the tailbone to be the tip of this triangle. Deep breath in. Complete and full exhale out. Let's take that again. Deep breath in through the nose. Gaze towards the knees. And exhale as if you're blowing out the birthday candles. You're gonna inhale, look forward. Come onto the balls of your feet. And just kind of like the way the cats kind of slink walk to the top of your mat. And when you get there, lower the heels down, have a nice bend. Forward fold with, you can reach opposite elbows so you can hang. Nice and relaxed here. Feet can be together or hips with distance apart. You can gently rock side to side. Feeling into this forward fold. And take note of where you notice any sensation. Maybe you really feel it in the backs of the legs, a real hamstring and calf stretch. Maybe you're starting to feel it in your forehead, just the slight cluster of sensation that shows, where the blood is starting to pool in your forehead as we stay inverted. Then we're going to grip through all 10 toes and our heels and begin to tuck the tailbone as we roll up one vertebrae at a time. You can release the hands along the way. Just come to a tall mountain pose, arms up. Exhale, press the arms away. Tadasana, mountain pose. Eyes can close. Take a moment to not be inverted. To be full and tall. A line of energy from crown of the head down through the heels. Let's blink open the eyes. Excellent. So shake it out. We're going to go right into it. We're just going to start folding. So I encourage you to take one of several hand placements to begin. You can simply clasp your hands behind your back. Very nice option. You can reach for opposite elbows. This I like because it doesn't really involve the wrists moving too much. Or if you're feeling really limber in the shoulder blades and your wrists feel solid, you can make a prayer right in between your shoulder blades, a prayer position. So take your position of choice, coming to the top of the mat. We're going to take our right foot behind us. Boom. And we're going to rotate our bodies to face the right toes. So now we're facing the back of the mat. Right foot is in front. And your stance is not as wide as a warrior two. It's like when we go into pyramid, which is exactly what we're going to go into. All right, I'll bite the bullet. I'll take off my socks so you can see my feet. Your right foot is going to point forward. Your left foot is on a slight 45-degree angle towards the upper left corner. Inhale, tall, square the hips. Exhale, begin to fold forward. You can have a slight bend in that right knee. Good, and just let yourself hang. You don't need to have like this perfect flat back or anything. Just let yourself fold here. 3 to 5 full cycles of breath. Perhaps after a couple breaths, we begin to feel ourselves opening up, relaxing into the pose. Inhale, carefully bring the body up. We're gonna use our heels to rotate the feet to the other side. So now you're back to facing the front of the mat. Same thing, other side. Left leg in front. Inhale, tall. Heart up. And then exhale, fold. 3 to 5 breaths. Gaze is towards your knee or towards your belly button. Gentle bend in the front knee to keep from locking out. Deep breaths. And then when you're ready, pressing into those feet so you can rise up. Excellent. Release those hands. Shake it out a little bit. We're going to do the same or a very similar thing with the feet. Rotate the feet again so the right foot is pointing forward. This time, your left foot can stay pointing out. So not really on that angle. Keep it out. We're going to do a triangle pose, Trikonasana, but with a slightly smaller stance. Often we're very wide in our feet. This time, just keep it a little bit more narrow than you might in your vinyasa classes. Inhale, arms out. Exhale, we're going to take our right peace fingers and reach towards the right big toe. The left side of the hip will naturally bump out a little bit. You just don't want to exaggerate it necessarily. We're just going right to the toe. You can have the top hand on your hip. You can have the top hand up. If reaching the toe is not in your practice today, reach wherever feels good. A block, the shin, just not the knee. And you can always have a bend in that front leg. A couple breaths here, 3 to 5. And then a slight bend in those legs as you lift off and rotate the feet to the other side. So left toes pointing forward, right toes pointing out. Inhale, warrior 2 arms. Then exhale, take the peace fingers on the left hand, like your Krabby Patty fingers, whatever, and reach for the left big toe or wherever on your leg or a block that feels good for you. And then just feel yourself opening into the posture, letting the breath settle you. Noticing where the breath lands in your body. When the left side of your body is compressed, can we really breathe into the right rib cage, the right side of the body, the lungs on the right side, the lung, singular. Really direct your breath to the open spaces in your body. And then we're gonna bend our knees, reach on up. Good, we're gonna rotate the toes again. This time, we are going to twist. I'm just going to have to move my mat a little bit. So right toes pointing to the front, left toes on that angle again. So left toes are slightly on a 45-degree angle. You're going to twist to the back wall. So I'm continuing to twist. And I'm going to send my left hand down my right leg and look to the right side. Good. If you want to reach towards your foot, go for it. If you want to lift your right arm, go for it. So we're twisting in our triangle right now, a revolved triangle. And find space for breath here as we twist and fold. Some people may be able to get their hand down to the floor on the outer edge of that left foot. Do whatever you like. Now we're gonna come on up. Whew. Almost there. We're gonna rotate the feet. Our final Trikonasana. Left toes pointing straight out, right toes on a slight angle so that we can really twist beyond the leg. So we're twisting our bodies towards the left. Right hand is going to slide down the right leg, right hand slides down left leg. Perhaps we gaze up. Perhaps we lift our top arm. Maybe your hand comes to the outer edge, the pinky toe side of that left foot. And breathe. Whew, and then slowly come on up. We're just going to send our feet to the top of our mat. Take a breath. Hands can come to prayer. And a question you might want to ask yourself is if you've noticed any imbalance on either side, one side that felt better than the other or had more flexibility than the other. I certainly do. And something that you might want to consider, if that is the case for you, is how long have you been aware of that? And how has yoga impacted that? Are we basically feeding into favoring certain sides in our yoga practice, or has the yoga, perhaps we really are addressing that and we're moving through the tension that's on one side more than the other? Essentially, are we enabling more tension in one leg, or are we using yoga to help stretch it out? And I'm still coming to terms with that. I'm not sure with my practice and my various injuries, if I'm actually compensating in different ways so that I don't stretch out tighter parts of my body. Just knowing that yoga is a tool and it's very medicinal. So finding ways that we can use our breath and bodies to move through tension with our practice, as long as we are aware of what we're trying to do, we should be able to avoid a lot of injury unless you stub your toe ridiculously doing absolutely zero. It was like literally just like stepped my foot and it was gone. Anyway, so let's take a moment at the top of our mat, march out the feet. I like to actually march my feet like this because it helps kind of loosen up where the hamstring connects with the glute. It's like a little lubricating motion. I'm just like, woo, and it feels nice. So take whatever dance you need. And now we're going to take a similar step with our right foot back, except much bigger. So right foot is going to step back as wide as you can with balance. And we're going to pivot again to that right foot. You might even need to walk them out a little bit more. All of a sudden I got very bright. I'm not sure why. And now we're in warrior two legs. Left toes out, right legs forward. All in the same line on the mat. And we're going to have our hands on our hips. Deep breath in. Exhale, bend into the right knee. Warrior two. Checking to see if the knee has gone over the ankle or gone beyond the ankle, I should say. And if so, pull it back. We're going to send our forearm to our right forearm to our right side. Inhale and reach the left hand over those ears. Gaze lifts. Supported extended side angle, very active. Make sure if you're reaching that you can plug that shoulder back into its socket. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Couple more breaths here. Wonderful. And straighten back up, release the arms. Walk rotate the toes so you have the warrior two legs on the opposite side. The left leg in front this time. Inhale, find a very north-south axis in your body, so you're not doing northeast, northwest. And then begin to find your warrior two. Squeezing the thighs in slightly so you still feel very active. Good. And then placing left forearm on left thigh. Inhale, right arm out and up over the right ear. Plugging that shoulder back into its pocket. Gaze lifts. 3 to 5 breaths. Good, one more breath here. And then exhale, slowly straighten that front leg. Lower the hands. We're gonna turn both toes out now to face the center of the room or just the long edge of your mat. Do a series of wide-legged forward folds. So make sure that you feel into the pinky edge side as well as the balls, the big toe mounds of your feet. So we're really using the full foot. Inhale, heart lifts, chest fills with air, gaze lifts, and then exhale, begin to fold forward. Hands remain on the hips. 3 to 5 breaths down here. Gaze is towards your the space where your knees would be if your legs were together, or towards your belly button. And allow yourself to just settle incrementally here, moment by moment. Don't feel you have to force or really set your jaw and just push to your max. Allow yourself to open here. On your next inhale, slight bend in the knees as we roll up. Inhale, arms out. Feel that lift in the chest. Exhale, hands come to clasp behind your back as we fold again. Arms reaching up, getting a shoulder stretch in here. On your next inhale, gently begin to rise. Release those hands. Inhale, arms out, chest lifts. And this time we're going to fold with our hands in front. So you're going to reach towards the floor. Blocks are excellent here. If you reach the floor, you can plant your palms or your fingertips here. And you can begin to manipulate the floor a little bit to press yourself a little bit more actively into the fold. Deep, full breaths. And from here, I'm just going to do a little halfway lift and gently bend one knee just a little to kind of feel into the groin a little bit. Straighten up and press into the other. Play around here. Small bend in either leg. As you kind of swing your body side to side. Excellent. From here, we're going to come into our Malasana Yogi Squat. But if you want to be kind of play around with me a little bit, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of jumping jack our feet to come on the outsides of our hands. So I'm going to bend into my legs, feeling grounded in my palms. And please don't do this if your hands are not on the floor, because it might be a little challenging to balance on blocks. You're going to plant the hands on the ground and get a nice bend in the knees and just kind of try to jump those feet a little closer to the hands. Otherwise, just step them carefully in. You're going to turn out the toes slightly. Lift the body. I kind of feel like we just watched this King Kong movie last night. I just feel like I just looked like King Kong. Hands come to prayer and begin to send the hips down. Whew. You might have to make adjustments to how far away your feet are. You might want to sit on a block rather than just have your hips in free fall here. Wherever you are, see if you can lift the heart a little more, get a little bit more length, and settle for a breath or two. Good, and then we're going to place our hands behind our seat and let our hips, our sits bones come to the ground. Wonderful. All right, we're almost to the end. Well done. We are going to extend our left foot, flexing through the toe. Extend it straight out. Your right leg, you're going to pick up your shin a little bit and kind of just hug it back and forth just to make sure your hip is nice and open. And then gently place the pinky toe side of that right foot on top of your left thigh. It's a little weird. Your right knee will kind of droop towards the floor. If at any point you feel this in your knee, please just release it and bring the sole of the foot to the inside thigh. Good. Inhale, heartless. Exhale, fold. Feel the belly button pressing towards the spine. You can always bend your supporting leg, but it's a little harder when this foot is on top. So if you'd like a bend, definitely slide a pillow underneath so you can allow that bend to be there without you having to put in the effort to bend it. One more breath here. On your next inhale, roll on up. Gonna shake it out. Now we're gonna extend the left leg and the right leg. We're gonna extend the right leg long and just kind of hug in the left leg. Do a couple little cradles just to make sure that that hip is engaged and that we're not using our ankle or our knee to support this turnout. And gently droop the pinky toe side of your foot on top of your thigh. Inhale, heart up. Exhale, reach. Again, inhale, perhaps we feel into the length of our body, and the exhale, we can release in. And then on an inhale, roll yourself up carefully, remove the leg from your thigh, shake it out. You're gonna come back to our mats, hands, fingers pointing towards your heels, toes pointing out. I'm just gonna come into a reverse tabletop. So you might have to make a little adjustment so that your ankles are underneath your knees, wrists under shoulders, and you can look down towards your belly button or anywhere in between, or simply let your neck go. Feel into the full soles of your feet. And then exhale, lower the hips down. Hug your knees in and do a couple little rocks. Folding completely into your body. Wonderful. And when you're ready, simply lower your body down to the ground. And you have a minute or two to play here. So if you'd like to take a twist to kind of rinse out all of that folding we did, it's very intense on the lower back, on the leg muscles. So feel free to take a supine twist of some kind to sort of press the restart button on all of that. Otherwise, take any shape that you would like. If that's an early Shavasana, hop right in, happy baby, legs up the wall. Allowing your breath to be rhythmic and unhurried. If you're doing the supine twist, I'm simply crossing one leg over the other and allowing my knees to drop. So I just cross my right leg over my left and knees drop to my left side. And then you'll do the same on the other. Good. Allow yourself to slow down. Take any movements, like when we wake from Shavasana, those small movements we take to really feel embodied. Feel free to take some of those now, pre-Shavasana. Any stretching overhead. Any rotations of the wrists, ankles, little hug. I love a hug. And when you are ready, find a reclined position where you can really just surrender into the mat. Every exhale makes you a little heavier in your still position. Allow the eyelids to close. The breath returns to just its natural rhythm. And you don't have to pay attention to anything here. You don't have to push anything away or notice anything in particular. Simply being here as you are is enough. Have some moments in silence to yourself. I invite you to stay here for as long as feels good for you. If you'd like a more guided re-entry into the physical realm, let's take a deep breath in together as a community. And a full and complete exhale together. Begin to bring movement back into the outer reaches of your body, the fingers, the toes and the ankles, maybe even the neck, as you slowly and smoothly let your nose drop from one side to the other shoulder. Unhurried. You can take a stretch here. Maybe you'd like to roll over onto your favorite side and tuck the knees in, or perhaps staying as you were on your back is more suiting to how you feel. Using your hands, gently press into the ground below, pressing your body up, doing as little as possible to get here. And come on back into your easy seat, eyes closed. Let us place our index fingers and thumbs together and place the backs of our hands at our knees. You can peek open if you're not sure exactly what I'm doing. Kind of making the okay symbol with our hands and placing them on the backs of our knees. Just inhale again into the integrity of the posture. And exhale, acknowledging the importance of and the significance of declaring space with your body, using your body to express action and intention. We symbolically sit with this integrity before we flow to really designate the space for our movement, to show the world and ourselves that we have something to say, we have something to do, and that what we have to say and do is important and deserves integrity. Let's bring our hands to our heart, breathe in deeply, sending a bit of love from your hands back into yourself. And then we bring our hands to prayer at our forehead, gently bowing forward. Here, I'd like to thank you for this practice, you for the life that you bring to your days and to our yoga community. I offer you namaste here, and I hope to see you on Saturday. Movement meditation is back on for this coming Tuesday. If you'd like to sign up, feel free to reach out with any questions. And I hope you have a restful and pleasant rest of your Thursday. Wow, I can't believe it's Thursday and April. Anyway, ta-ta, everyone.